Are you ready for story time? I am too. I'm so excited. So remember, this week we have been talking about Easter and bunnies and God's love. And we talked about Moses and we talked about the Passover. So we've been all over the place this week. So since yesterday was a bunny story, today we are going to read a story about God's love. So, I don't know if any of you have any little brothers or sisters, but I remember when I was little, my dad told me that I was going to have a baby. No, he didn't say what it was. It was just a new baby. And I was so mad because I'm the baby and I did not want any new babies coming around. And then I said, okay, well, maybe it'll be okay if it's a baby boy, but it better not be a baby girl because I don't want any baby girls, just me. And the baby came, and it was a little boy, and oh, he was the cutest little baby in the world. And I eventually let him stay. I said he could stay because he was a cute little baby, and that is my baby brother. So some of you out there, you have baby brothers or sisters on the way, or you might have a new baby brother or sister and you're trying to decide whether or not you should keep them or not. So this is just a story about a new little baby and how they decided to keep him or her or not. Let's read it and see. You guys ready? The name of this book is called God Gave Us Two, by Lisa Tan Bergen, and the illustrations are by Laura Bryant. Okay, God gave us two. Children are a gift from God. They are His reward. Psalm 127, verse 3. Time to get up, sleepyhead, Mama said one bright Sunday morning. Oh, but little Cub wasn't quite ready to wake up. You can take your new baby to church, she said with a yawn. New baby? Oh, he's still in my tummy, but he'll come along too. Now up and at 'em, Sugar Plum. It's soon time to go. Little Cub yawned again and padded after her mother down the hall to the bathroom. Mama, she asked, why do you need a new baby? We don't need a new baby, Little Cub, she said, nuzzling her bare daughter's nose. We want a new baby, just like we wanted you. God gave us you. Now He's given us two. Papa helped Little Cub dress for church. Papa, she said, if we don't like the new baby, can we send it back?
No, Little Cub. You don't send back a gift from God. He gave us you. Now He's given us two.
On the way, Little Cub wondered aloud, if the new baby cries too much, can we move next door? Sorry, Sweet Pea, Mama said. We want you with us until you're all grown up. Besides, you're going to like the new baby. Even when it cries. Even when he cries.
Little Cub, Papa said later, do you realize how wonderful this is? You're going to be a big sister. The new baby will love you just as we do.
It will? Little Cub asked.
Oh, yes, Papa said.
You'll only be able to play with the baby, Mama said, tickling her. And teach him how to say please and thank you.
And to burp with his mouth closed,
Papa added.
You can have snowball fights together,
Papa said, tossing a snowball in his hands. Or make snow angels together, Mama said, when you don't feel like fighting. Will she go iceberg hopping and puffin' pouncing with me?
If she's anything like you, she will, Papa said.
Or he, Mama reminded them, if it's a baby brother. Maybe being a big sister wouldn't be all that bad, Little Cub thought. She would have someone to play with who didn't hog the ball like the seals did, and someone who'd think she was smart and funny. She wouldn't be the littlest bear anymore. She whispered, God has given us two. I want a baby sister, she announced as she returned home.
Can't promise that, Papa said.
A brother?
Can't promise that either.
Well, what can you do, Papa? She asked. Not much, Mama said, tweaking Little Cub's nose, other than pray for you and our precious number 2. That night, Little Cub tucked her doll into her cradle and climbed up into bed to read with Mama. It was becoming harder and harder to find room on Mama's lap. Her lap was getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Her tummy was so big now that Little Cub had to sit beside her. Ouch, she said one night as they read her favorite story. What's wrong, Little Cub? That baby poked me. Mama smiled wide. Why, he's just moving about inside me like you did. He wants to remind us that he's there, ready to come out any day. Mama squeezed Little Cub closer. God gave us you, and soon we'll meet number 2. Papa, Little Cub asked as they walked that night, will the new baby look like me?
Maybe,
Papa said. He held out his paw and caught some snow.
All these snowflakes are bright, white, and wet, but each one is different. Same maker,
he explained, looking up at the falling flakes.
But he's a creative creator. We'll soon see, won't we?
The next morning, Papa sent Carrie, the caribou, to fetch Little Cub's grandparents.
It's time for me to take Mama to the hospital, he said. You'll soon know if you have a baby sister or brother.
Papa, Little Cub said, will you forget about me?
Never, Papa said. God gave us you. Now he's given us 2.
No one will ever take your place, Little Cub, Mama said. I promise. Now come on out. I need a goodbye hug from my sweetest Little Cub. Little Cub spent the day fishing with Grandpa and baking cookies with Grandma, playing checkers with Grandpa, and hide and seek with the animals. Until Papa came home.
I have a surprise for you, Little Cub,
he said. What?
You have a baby sister.
I do, said Little Cub.
And a baby brother.
I do, said Little Cub.
Yes, Little Cub. God gave us 2.
No, Papa, Little Cub said proudly. God gave us 3. The end. What did you guys think of that story? Did you see how excited Little Cub was once the baby was getting closer to being born? Yeah, he wasn't scared anymore. And God had given his parents enough love to love both of them. Isn't that awesome that God can give your parents enough love to love you and your brothers and your sisters? That is so amazing. God is never out of love. He never runs out. And do you know why? Do you? Because God is love. Yes, and that's what we are going to learn all about the next few days as we get closer and closer to Easter, we're going to really dig deep into how deep God's love is for us. So are you guys ready for tomorrow? Yay! I'm excited too. So listen to this. Tomorrow, we're going to have a craft time, okay? Now, our craft time will be, I think our craft time will be about 3 o'clock tomorrow, maybe 4. I'm going to have to double check. Ask your parents to make sure that they look at my page to get the correct time, because we're going to have to kind of tweak the time a little bit, because I want to be able to work out with the kids play if we can. Did you guys work out with kids play today? Those of you who are at the craft time today? Did you go over to Miss Hallinan's page and dance with her? It was a fun dance. We danced like kangaroos. I hope you were able to make it. So, okay, so let me focus. Back to tomorrow's craft. We are going to make Easter baskets. We're going to make some Easter baskets tomorrow. And the one supply that you need, the one item that you need that I hope you can find around the house is a milk jug, or like an orange juice jug, a gallon jug. If you have an extra gallon jug, we're going to use that to make our craft tomorrow. I think we're going to do about 3 o'clock. I'll let you know for sure tomorrow afternoon. But thank you so much for joining me for story time tonight. I had such a good time reading to you guys. I really, really loved this book. God gave us 2. He sure did show little Cub that there was more than enough love to go around. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Good night. Good night, you guys. Good night, Justin. Good night, Zanai. Good night, Emma. Good night, Amari. Good night, Kennedy. And good night, Aiden. Good night, Morgan. Good night, Justina. Good night, Navia. Good night, Israel. Good night, Harley. Good night, Harper. Good night, Brandon. Good night, Hunter. Good night, Nico. Good night, Malia. Good night, Daniel. Good night, Danny. Good night, Lauren. Good night, Analia. Good night, Harrison. Good night, Xavier. Good night, Demetrius. Good night, Makai. Good night, Erilyn. Good night, Stevie. Good night, Gianni. And good night, Prince. Good night, Maya. And good night, Brooklyn. And good night, Jason. Good night, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.